All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now back live with the market video report. This is the PulseWave pre-market report for trading on Sunday, February the 5th, 2023. If you head on over to pulsewavetrading.com, log into your dashboard, you will see the new reports that are out live and direct for you to peruse. All right, so it looks like we have some interesting things on the board to go over. So give me just a second and we will go over these. It looks to be, has all the earmarks of being a very exciting trading week. Looks like we have finally a situation where the markets have made a choice. They have chosen, and the direction seems to be on the sell side. And the interesting part about that is that generally, when we have a situation where the markets have turned bullish and they start moving up, normally you will have all of your major stock indices moving in concert together. But lately, that has not been the case, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. The Dow has not really participated with the other indices, and we generally like to see that type of support because it says that whatever move you're seeing in the markets is sustainable and that it's real. But when you have one of the indices not cooperating, it's reminiscent of the 2007 to 2008 situation that we had. So just looking at things as we start off here to kick off the new week of trading, it does bring about some concern as we move forward. And I don't know if what we're seeing is going to really be sustainable or not. And that is the concern for the bullish scenario. The bullish scenario is not looking to be well supported at this juncture. Could this be a brief pullback and then the markets decide that it wants to, run? Of course, that's possible. It's very much possible, as a matter of fact. But like I said, it just looks like we have a situation where things are moving in the opposite direction of where they should be. So we have to take all of those factors into account. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a look at how the markets. Hey, what's up? Long time no see. What up? Got my bro in the house. Yeah, man, this is going to be interesting. I think as we examine these charts, I think some of you will start to get an idea that all may not be well on the market front. Now, like I said, last week, your NASDAQ and your Russell were straight powerful. Then the S&P powered itself up, and the Dow really could not get its legs. It really suffered, really struggled in the home stretch. And like I said, that's normally problematic. That's not something that you want to see as far as having sustainability coming into play, because then it makes you question whether or not what you're seeing, if it's real. And I know about them massaging government reports and making things look and sound better than what they really are, and just outright lying at times too. We're not ignorant of that. But what I'm saying is, just looking at the just pure price action, just looking at nothing but price action, you do have to ask yourself what it is that you are seeing. and if what we are seeing is really reflective of the entire market. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Is it real, and what can we gather from all of it? So we're going to take a look at the charts, and then we're going to see if there's any clues or hints as to what we're seeing now. As the markets are open right now, as we're doing this live stream, it's pretty quiet. There's no real fireworks going on right now. Nothing for me to say, oh my goodness, did you see that? No, it's nothing like that. It's just a quiet, Sunday situation and going on right now. All right, so let me get these charts up for you so you can see what I mean. All right, so the first chart we're going to look at, and again, it's no particular order, but we're gonna start. We're gonna start where we start. All right, let me share my screen with you. All right, so the first chart is XRP Ripple. As you can see, we start the week off with a crash alert for Sunday night into Monday morning. Now, the longer term trend has shifted to a bullish perspective, but the bears are in control as the price action is in a consolidation inside the Kumo cloud. And for right now, you're going nowhere. So we have to acknowledge that to start the week off in XRP Ripple. What about Theta? Well, Theta is trendless right now. All right, the longer term perspective is a ticking time bomb. We don't know, but we know that it's going to break. Then you got the neutralization bar right there too. So this market is consolidated and neutralized beneath the Kumo cloud. And for the time being, also going nowhere to start the week off. Next up is Litecoin. Litecoin has flipped once again from a bullish to a bearish longer term perspective now. And there is a downtrend channel that is forming. So the bears are in control of this market. So Litecoin seems to be putting in a short-term top at the moment and is about to fall down back to the top of the Kumo cloud, which is at $75. First support's going to be at 90. Second support's going to be at 75 for Theta. All right, let's see here. Oh, what's up, my man? IT. Let's see. It says there was a new article about Bitcoin is being manipulated like back in 2017. Can you see that happening in your data? We're definitely going to take a look at that. We do have some more Bitcoin charts we're going to look at. So we're definitely going to take a look at that. And I will talk about it as we go through it. We're going to look at the futures. We're going to look at the cash market, and we're going to look at the ETF, and then see if we can gather any data that way. All right, so we're done with the Litecoin. Bearish outlook for Litecoin to start the week off. What about Link or Chainlink? So it has a longer term bull market perspective, but right now in the short term, the bears are in control. We have a crash alert for tonight and tomorrow's trading as the bears are in control of this market and price action is consolidated within the Kumo cloud. So going nowhere on this one, sideways to down. All right, now let's take a look at the US dollar by way of ticker UUP. All right, so as you can see, we had the rally alert on Thursday, and then we got the upside production on Friday, giving us another rally alert for Monday's trading. Bottom of the Kumo cloud around the $28 and change is going to be the initial upside target, followed by $28.50. And I think that's where it's headed to test this overhead resistance zone. So for now, we've hit a short-term bottom in the US dollar index, and the market wants to go up. It should be noted that we have created a gap, so there's going to have to be some back and filling, but for the most part, the gap here has been created. So we expect a pullback at some point. Next up is the bond market. Looking at ticker TLT, the longer term trend is still bearish. And in the short term, the bears have this market locked in, selling rallies. Market got up to the overhead resistance point and failed once again and pulled back. But it didn't just pull back, it gapped down on Friday and proceeded to close weak, giving us a crash alert for Monday's trading. Now, there will be some back and fill because you do have to close this gap, but for the most part, we're still looking at downward momentum in the bond market, ladies and gentlemen. That is not a good sign for interest rates. The lower the bond prices go, the higher the interest rates rise. Looking at the S&P 500 by way of ticker SPY, what do we have here? We have a crash alert for Monday's trading in the S&P 500. So it looks like we are putting in a short-term top, and the support zone is going to be around the 405-ish range, followed by $390, which will put it to the Kumo cloud. So interesting turn of events here in that one. Next up, we have silver by way of ticker SLV. All right, this one gapped down on the open on Friday, giving us a crash alert as price action got deep into the Kumo cloud, dropping below the $21 handle that I warned you about in the video prior. Remember, I said that this one was threatening to drop below $21, and that's exactly what it did on Friday after failing to follow through from the stop run. So there was a nice stop run to shake out weak shorts, and that's exactly what the market did. And then it came down and crashed into the close. All right. Ben, we haven't gotten to Bitcoin yet. We're not doing it in any particular order. I'm just taking it as it comes up. But like I mentioned earlier, we're going to do an in-depth look at the Bitcoin when we get to those charts. We're going to be looking at the Bitcoin futures, the Bitcoin cash, and the Bitcoin ETF. Not Bitcoin cash, but the cash market for Bitcoin. All right. So that's silver. All right, moving right along, we got the NASDAQ 100 by way of ticker QQQ. You can see with the market put in a short-term top. We got a crash alert for trading on Monday. Also, what you see here on Friday, the market back and filled, or at least attempted to, the gap up from Thursday's close into Friday. I'm sorry, from Wednesday's close when the market gapped up on Thursday. So Friday just came down and tried to close that gap. But we do see support around $295 on the QQQ. All right. And you can see the longer term trend is bearish, but the short term goes to the bulls, or at least it did. But you see how that fell off on Friday. Bulls no longer in control of the market. The bear market rally appears to be over. I know. It's getting serious. All right, looking at oil by way of ticker OIH, and you can see that the longer-term trend has crossed over now from a bullish one to a bearish trend with the bears in control of the market. And you can see the overhead resistance is working because price action has failed on multiple attempts to break above the overhead resistance, which is around $340 a share. And we closed at 315 on Friday. So this one is looking like a consolidation on top of the Kumo cloud, but we still have a bearish bias in the market. So I'm expecting sideways to lower prices in crude oil. All right. Let me do this before I forget, because you did ask me about UNG, and I know for a fact that I did not add UNG. So let me go ahead and do that right now for you. And I'll make a note to make sure that I keep it in the rotation for you. All right, so here is UNG. For those that don't know, UNG is the nat gas. All right, it bases itself off the nat gas futures. And as you can see here, we've been hitting consecutive 52-week lows here on the daily algo chart, and nothing has changed. All right, long-term trend is bearish. Short-term momentum is also bearish. So short-term trend bearish, and the trend momentum is also bearish as the market keeps hitting 52-week lows. This one is not ready to turn yet. Not at all. Now, something interesting I want to point out, and that's back here, the week of December the 27th, we picked up a bot check on some buying, all right, of an increasing amount, but they weren't able to hold the market. And then the following day, we gapped down on the open and then rallied into the close and then proceeded to drop in the next couple of days after that. So this bot check didn't really do much. Very interesting to see that. Normally, when you get that, it's because the market is letting you know that it's about to turn. But I guess these failed, and this was around the final week of trading also. So I don't know what was going on. Maybe some bears were liquidating. I don't know, and that's why we got that, because it was a significant volume of short covering, if you will. So perhaps that could be it. But I just want to point that out. This is a rare situation. You see something like that. So your nat gas is still looking bearish, and you would think, though, before I close this, you would think that nat gas would be ready to explode with the historic weather that we've been having. Did you guys see that, where it was negative 100 and something degrees? Did y'all see that? What was it, in Washington or somewhere? Somewhere up north, negative 100 and something. I mean, it was just insane. They said it was almost negative 50 without the wind chill, just the actual temperature. And then when you add the wind chill, it was negative over 100 degrees, man. That is crazy. That's like instant freezing of skin and eyeballs and everything else. Like instant hypothermia, instant gangrene, and all that other stuff, man. Just crazy, crazy, crazy weather. So you would think that nat gas would be like, exploding over that. Okay, you say it was Mount Washington, New Hampshire. Okay, yeah, yep. Incredible, man. So at some point, the nat gas is going to wake up. But for right now, it is not even budging, and it's super cheap. So they may even do a reverse split at some point if it keeps falling. I don't know. I know they like to keep it in, like, the $20 to $30 range. So they may be getting ready to do a reverse split or something. We'll see. This is interesting, though. I would not be surprised if they did. I really wouldn't. So just think about that moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, with nat gas. All right. Next up is Litecoin by way of the Litecoin ETF. It gave us a crash alert on Friday. And as you can see here, we had an alert given the day prior. Let me pull. Okay, there you go. Which is really interesting that you would get this alert right here, and then the market goes, and it gave us a bullish pointer to boot. So the Litecoin thing was really, the ETF was really weird in that spike like that, how an intraday spike with the bullish pointer. Now, with that, because of that, and then it gave us this crash alert for Monday. Because of that, all right, it makes me think. It makes me think that whatever downside we see in the Litecoin could be short-lived, because this bullish pointer is going to have to be rectified. And you can see on this day too, on Thursday, we got the signal that a possible neutralization was about to take place. So this is an interesting thing to see that in the ETF. Now, the last neutralization we had was back here for three. It lasted for 3 days, for 3 whole days. Neutralized market, price action goes nowhere. In a neutralized market, the price action goes nowhere. All right, and that's where you just step aside and wait for the market to do something. All right. So this one here, we neutralize for 1 day. Just 1 day. All right. So there you go. Crash alert for Litecoin ETF. The ticker is LTCN right here. LTCN. All right. All right. Next up, we got the Russell My Hustle. The ticker is IWM. This is the Russell ETF. Also gave us a crash alert on Friday and a neutralization indicator as well. So we got a crash alert with a neutralization indicator, which means that the downside could be limited. So this could just be a pullback, not a correction. All right. So it could be. Hey, what up, peoples? All right. So yeah, what that's our peoples down in Costa Rica. What up? All right. So this is interesting because you see how powerful the Russell has been. And even if it did pull back here, it doesn't mean that it's going to correct and turn into a correction like we did back here. It could just be, pulling back to the support zone around 190 and then using it as a springboard for the next leg higher above 200. So interesting to watch this and see how this plays out in the futures tonight going into tomorrow morning. All right, gold by way of ticker GLD. Now, this was the letdown. All right, so if you were paying attention, you saw we got the crash alert several bars back, right? Followed by neutralization zone, all right? And you were neutralized for 1, 2, 3, 4 days after. You were neutralized. Price action went nowhere. And you knew that because of the color of the bars and the neutralization line right here, all right, indicator. So you went nowhere. Then on Thursday, the market crashed, sold off, gave you a crash alert, letting you know that it's not done selling and that Friday was going to get busy. And that's exactly what happened. Friday, the market got busy, gapped down on the open and proceeded to crash into the close. That's some dirty Harry right there for you, some dirty Harry. Top of the Kumo cloud, south of $170 is now in play for GLD. This looks like we have a short-term top in gold. The longer-term trend for gold has been bullish. And the short-term trend momentum reading has also been bullish. But that stopped. We now have flipped to a bearish. So the bears have reclaimed the gold market. We were hoping that we would get a trend change here, but the market failed to do so. Can't ignore those things, ladies and gentlemen. Got to pay attention to those at all times because you just never know. All right, next up we got GDXJ, the gold miners. Well, same thing happened to them. We went from a longer-term bull market and a bullish trend momentum reading to now a bear market with a bearish trend momentum reading, and we got downside production from the crash alert, and we're almost at first target around the $36 handle. Next target to support is between $33 and $32 for your GDXJ. So short-term top done in GDXJ. Not looking good for the gold markets right now. All right, here's our first Bitcoin chart of the evening. This is GBTC, the ETF for Bitcoin. Notice that the longer-term trend had flipped to a bullish perspective, and we had a bullish trend momentum reading. Well, now the market has flipped to a bear market with a bearish trend momentum reading with a crash alert on Friday, letting us know that we can expect lower prices come Monday. This is a crash alert. GBTC is saying that Bitcoin will drop. $10 is the top of the Kumo Cloud support, but the first level of support is at $12 even. So that's what we're looking at. Could this be the key that is telling us to expect a downdraft in the cash market? And what about the futures? Well, let's take a look and see. All right, next up we got Ethereum ETF, ETHE. ETHE is the Ethereum ETF, and it also gave a crash alert on Friday. But the only issue here for Ethereum is that we had a rally alert that it gave us on Thursday's close, and then that got canceled out with a crash alert on Friday. Starting to see a lot of colors in this zone, which leads me to believe that the price action is going to stay neutralized within the Kumo cloud. So we got a consolidation happening now in the Ethereum ETF. So it lets me think that we're going to just move sideways in the cash market and the futures market for Ethereum. But we'll see what happens when we get to those charts. All right, so just remember that in the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs, we got crash alerts for Monday. All right, for the Dow Jones Industrial Average ETF, the DIA, we got a crash alert for Monday. We had a crash alert on Thursday, but we didn't get any follow through or any downside production on Friday. So we're expecting that to happen come Monday. Not necessarily saying it's going to be a Black Monday or anything like that, but just saying we have a crash alert. So we're expecting lower prices. Overall, though, you can see this has been a consolidated market for the most part, not a neutralized market. You don't see any blue bars, but it's still moving sideways. It's still a consolidation. It's just been happening for the most part on on top of the Kumo cloud. Overhead resistances remain unchallenged. So we'll see what happens, but we got to go with what we see, and that is a bear situation. Longer term trend is bearish. Trend momentum reading has also been bearish for quite some time now. It has not flipped over like its peers, like the NASDAQ and the Russell and the S&P. It's remaining bearish. You still got these orange bars up here. We need these orange bars to turn blue if we're really going to see a powerful stock market rally. As long as this is staying red like this, orange, this rally ain't going nowhere. All right, so we got to remember that. That's reminiscent of 2007, 2008. All right, the Ethereum futures. The Ethereum futures, for the most part right now, is kind of agreeing with the ETF. It's saying crash alert for Sunday night into Monday, and we got a neutralization bar. So we're expecting sideways to lower prices in the Ethereum futures. The longer term trend is bearish with the trend momentum reading of bullish, meaning that you've been experiencing a bear market correction. And it looks like that is over. If we get any downside production tonight into tomorrow, then that means that this was correct and we got a short-term top in the market. First sign of support is around 1550. Second support is around 1350, the top of the Kumo cloud for your Ethereum futures. All right, now we're looking at Bitcoin futures. Bitcoin futures is also agreeing with the Bitcoin ETF GBTC in that we have a crash alert for Sunday night into Monday, and we had a neutralization bar on Thursday, and we had this gap back here, but the market attempted to back and fill here but you still got this gap. This gap has not been closed. All right. You had a back and fill attempt, but not a closure. So I think that's going to be the first target, is to close this gap. If it overshoots, then you got support around the 18,000 level, 18,000 even for the Bitcoin futures. That's quite a ways down. It's thousands of points down. So you just have to be alert and ready, because why? The longer term trend of bull has changed, just like the trend momentum reading of bullish has also changed. You've now crossed over into a bear market with a bearish trend momentum reading. So we could have significant down movement in the Bitcoin. All right, folks, that is all we got for this evening. Hopefully you learned something and you got a lot of it, got something out of it, because I think these markets are ready to blow. All right, so you got your marching orders. If you go to PulseWaveTrading.com, you will see the dashboard has been updated. So have at it. You know what you need to do. So go in there and bang it out. Do what you got to do. And remember, the system works if you work the system. So make money, not excuses. Bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And I'm out. Peace.